Hey guys, welcome back to another day. Today is day 17. Thank you for tuning in today. And I'm excited for what we have to share in today. So guys, today is first off, these 30 days, I'm talking about free 8-figure club coaching and ClickFunnels support. And I'm excited for what I have to share today. So thank you guys for joining in. Thank you for being here with me. If you haven't watched day 1 through 16, go back and binge watch. Go back on and watch all those videos on Facebook, or you can do that on YouTube as well. YouTube has all of the videos, okay? So we publish here on Facebook, and then we upload those to YouTube. Okay, so you can go back and watch those. Search Bryan Dulaney, subscribe to the channel, and you get all the updates every time we release a new video. So guys, thank you for today. Thank you for joining me. For those of you who are just coming on, maybe you're seeing this video for the first time, I want to tell you about something special. It's called our free golden ticket. You can go to freegoldenticket.com to learn more, or you can click the link in this description to head on over and check out free golden ticket. So the free golden ticket is our 7-figure. I'm giving away funnels and emails and scripts for our 7-figure expert agency and e-commerce funnel. So if you run an expert business, like you're an author, speaker, coach, you're a consultant, maybe you're a purpose-driven entrepreneur, maybe you have a legacy that you want to contribute to the world, maybe you have thought leadership that needs to be heard, maybe you have a story on the inside of you that you've been sitting on that you know that the world needs to hear. You're an expert and you're in that bucket, right? You're in that category of experts, okay? And on this USB drive, I'm giving you my 7-figure expert funnels, emails, and scripts. Okay, so it's not just funnels, right? But it's the emails and it's the scripts that we used to build a 7-figure business for one of our partners as an expert, okay? So there's a lot to learn there. We've got our 7- and 8-figure agency funnels, right? So how to blow past the 2 comma club, get into the 8-figure club award, right? Those funnels, emails, and scripts are on this USB drive as well, and our e-commerce. So if you run an e-commerce store, right, now's the great time of year to be selling a lot of stuff as in e-commerce, right? All these sales for Black Friday coming up, and so if you run an e-commerce business, you're going to want to get your hands on this free golden ticket as well, because I've loaded on 2 different types of e-commerce funnels. One that's converting at over 8% to cold traffic, and the other one that's converting over $3,000 a day, which has back-end continuity built into the funnel. So if you're not doing built-in continuity, you want to be doing back-end continuity, then you've got to take a look at these guys. So these are free. All you got to do is pay for shipping and handling, and it's yours. We'll ship it to you. And everybody who enters or grabs your free golden ticket, you entered as an opportunity to win one of these $15,000 tickets. These are our fancy free golden tickets. We have 5. Just like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, we modeled that theme, and we have 5 winners with 1 winner, whoever's the good egg. Okay, so if we've given out, we had 1 winner come through the other day. Can't wait to see the next winner who's going to come through and surface. But we have 5 of these free golden tickets. So guys, grab your free golden ticket if you haven't already. So today is a topic that I love talking about, and that's you being the thought leader in your market. And above that, not only being the thought leader, but being the category king. Now, what does a category king mean? Well, when you think about domain names, for example, you think about domain names. Well, what do you think about? You probably think about GoDaddy, right? GoDaddy is most definitely the category king when it comes to domain names. You might not think about Namecheap, because Namecheap, although a great company and they do a lot of revenue, GoDaddy has created a tribe of people, and they've created this brand that everybody knows, right? Because they've advertised on the Super Bowl several times now, and they created an element of fun, an element of creativity into their brand, which is absolutely brilliant. I heard the owner of GoDaddy speak. This is back in 2008. It was really a fascinating story about someone who started from nothing, risked it all, and made it big in business. And he has an incredible story, and he has an incredible core value system, which If you don't know what it is, I'd encourage you, take a look at the CEO of GoDaddy and take a look at his culture, his thought process, his mindset. He's really got a lot to learn. Now, being the category king in your market, this is a great book. It's called Play Bigger, okay? And it talks about Salesforce, and it talks about being the category king in your market, okay? I'm not gonna ruin this book for you, but you should probably think about playing a little bigger, right? That's the challenge over these 30 days, is that I wanna help you get unstuck and break through the 7-figure barrier to blow past $1 million. Okay, I want you to see $1 million in revenue for your business as an easy milestone on your journey. Okay, you just need to know what to do, how to do it, when to do it, right? And you need to know who can help you. Okay, so today, this is a conversation that I have with a lot of our private one-on-one clients who spend an entire day with us here in beautiful La Jolla, California, right about 15 minutes outside of the airport here in San Diego. And I talk about, even if they run a product-based business, even if they run a service-based business, I talk about the way to differentiate their brand, their business in the world is to become the thought leader. And I've talked about this in several of the videos leading up to today, but I think it's important to mention again today. So when you think about coffee, okay, you think about Starbucks. So Starbucks is the category king of coffee, right? But what Bulletproof Coffee has done, which is incredible, is they found a weak point in the market. They found a weak point, okay, in the coffee industry, which is the fact that most coffee has mold and neurotoxins. Who the heck wants to drink neurotoxin tea? Not me. I don't want to drink neurotoxin tea. I want my brain to be performing at an optimal level, at a state of high performance, right? So we definitely don't want neurotoxin tea. Well, Dave Asprey, the thought leader behind the brand of Bulletproof, has done a phenomenal job of having a beautiful brand, okay, Bulletproof Coffee. Now he sells coffee, and he sells MCT oil, and he sells Brain Octane, and he sells all of these other amazing products. But on top of that, he's an author, and he's a speaker, and he's created certification programs for other people to bring his work into the world of biohacking and human performance, which I love personally. I absolutely love that stuff. So I want you to start thinking about it differently. Now, there's an exercise that we're going to talk about today. Number one, it's about becoming the category king and the absolute dominant thought leader in your market. I would encourage you to embrace the word thought leader, think like a thought leader, act like a thought leader. How would a thought leader act, behave, and operate? What would a thought leader create, right? And so today I'm going to talk about 3 different elements of becoming a category king and becoming a thought leader. Number one is thought leaders solve problems because they first know the problems of their people. They provide solutions because people are looking to get out of pain, right, and into pleasure. Okay, if you've studied any work with Tony Robbins, people want to avoid pain or pursue pleasure. Now, I'm going to propose that it's super important for you to understand what are the pains that your market faces? What are the problems that your market faces? Do you know what they are? Okay, it's important that you find out what they are and figure out what their solutions are. Like, what is the pleasure points that they desire to after they get out of that pain that they're in? Okay, we're going to exercise that here in a second. I'm going to do an illustration. And then third, category kings, in my experience of what I've seen over the last, 15, 20 years of like basically being around business. I grew up with my grandfather being an inventor. I grew up with my dad being an entrepreneur, and I would travel the world with my father, my family, and I was able to see business. I was fortunate. I was fortunate to be able to see business and see how business was done and run at a very young age and be working in the business. Okay, but this is what we want to do here, guys. So in this example, I'm going to talk about becoming a category king and identifying problems and solutions in your market. And I want you to, take out a piece of paper. And I want you to, on one side of the paper, write problems, and the other piece of the paper, write solutions. And I want you to think about all the problems that your market faces. Okay, what are the problems that your people face? And in a little while, I'm going to talk about how to find out what those problems are. But first, let's just assume that you're intimate with your avatar, you know who your perfect customer is, and let's just say that you know the problems that your market faces. And an example here, I'm going to say that I'm the category king of webinars. I'm the category king of when it comes to webinars. Everyone who's doing webinars thinks, you know what, I need help with my webinars. I'm going to go to Bryan. I'm going to go to Bryan for help with that because he's the absolute best in the world when it comes to webinars, right? So I know as the thought leader about webinars, there's like 5 major problems. Number 1 is tech challenges, right? Tech challenges. Okay, that's one problem. Number 2 is no one's showing up for my webinar. No one's signing up for my webinar. No one's converting on my webinar. I don't have any sales, right? Or writer's block and lack of confidence. Those are the 5 major problems when it comes to webinars. Okay, so if you want to do webinars, you have to overcome these 5 problems, right? Now, me being the thought leader over here on the side of this table, I know all the problems and I have all the solutions, okay? Now, what's important here, guys, is that you get very intimately familiar with the way in which they say it, okay? The way in which they say it. So important. Okay, so they say tech problems. Bryan, I can't figure out how to get my autoresponder and all the things integrated so that my webinar will work. Bryan, I can't figure out how to build my webinar funnel. Bryan, I can't figure out how to do, and it's all tech related issues, right? If you've ever tried to do a webinar, before you launched a webinar, you know that there's some tech challenges, right? You've got to do some integration. You've got to do some automation. You've got some things that happen behind the scenes when people sign up for your webinars, right? Okay, next one is no signups. Bryan, I can't get anyone to sign up for my webinar. That's what they tell me. Bryan, I can't get anyone to sign up. My lead acquisition is too high on for my webinars. Can't get anyone to sign up for my webinars. Why is nobody signing up for my webinars? Right, so there's different ways, and you want to be able to articulate the different ways that people are expressing having these problems. Okay, super important, guys, super important. You want to understand your people and where they're at, what their problems are. Number 3 is no one's showing up. Bryan, no one's showing up for my webinars. How can I get more people to show up to my darn webinars? I have all these people signing up, but no one's showing up, right? Now, here's the deal, guys. Not everybody's going to have every single problem, okay? But they're going to have this problem before they have this problem, and they're going to have this problem before they have this problem, okay? Now, let's talk about the 4th problem. Bryan, I figured it out. You've helped me launch my webinar funnel. The tech is handled. I can sleep good at night. People are signing up for my webinar. I'm getting great webinar registration rates. I'm happy. People are actually showing up to my webinar. They're sitting on, they're engaged. They're part of the dialogue that I'm having. But Bryan, no one is signing up for my programs. No one is buying what I have to offer, right? No conversions, right? So the issue is conversion. The way they're expressing it is, Bryan, no one's buying what I have to offer, right? Which yesterday I talked about there's 3 beliefs that are crippling entrepreneurs. And one of them, if you don't have conversions, can validate that belief. Okay, but you gotta rage against the system. You gotta rage against the system so that you don't fall trap to believing that nobody wants what you have to offer just because you have no conversions. Okay, there's several things that you can do. I almost went into telling you what you could do right there, but I'm not going to because that's not the point of this of today's video. The point of today is to really help you understand what it takes to start thinking as a thought leader and as an expert in what you do. And when you begin to think like a thought leader, when you begin to think like the category king, you'll begin to create differently. You'll be able to create things differently. You'll begin to provide value differently. And as you build as you create and as you build, as you go along, you will solve all the problems in your market. Think about it. We go to people who solve problems, okay, and can help us move into what we want to experience or what we desire to have in our lives, right? So if you become that person, or if your brand becomes that brand for the market, right? The big brands are trying to figure this stuff out, okay? They're trying to figure this stuff out. They're not sure how to crack the code, but we live in a different age today. It's beyond the information age, but people go online now for information, which is a beautiful thing because we get to provide solutions to their problems. Now over here, what I do, guys, is I say, okay, here's how to eliminate any tech problems, okay? Here's one trick to eliminate any tech problems. Or maybe we'll create a free report about 5 ways to double your webinar registrations. Okay, now think about it. If you saw a blog post or a Facebook live video or let's say a lead magnet, right? About 5 different ways that you can double your webinar registration rate, and your problem is that you can't get people to sign up for your webinar, what do you think the likelihood of you signing up for this lead magnet or blog post or Facebook live video is going to be? Think about it for a second. Or how about no show-up rates? If you have that problem, what do you think the likelihood of you signing up for something that talks about how to get a 30% show-up rate for your webinars, right? Well, if I showed you 7 different things that you should be doing right now for your webinars and around your webinar funnel and advertising, do you think that you would register for that? I believe so, and I've seen it, okay? We do this all the time, guys. So this is the problem that they're expressing. I can't get anyone to show up. This is the solution they're desiring, 30% or more to people to show up, right? And the last example is conversions. If I could guarantee that you can get 15 to 20% conversions for people that are on your webinar, would that be something of interest to you? Well, of course it would, right? Of course it would, because you have a problem with selling online. You have a problem with selling on webinars, and of course this would solve your problems, and you'd want to know what that is, right? Now, the deliverables over here might be a free report, it might be a free video series, it might be a blog post. Okay, so there's a number of ways that we can engage. Not everybody wants to consume content in the same way that you do. Some people are Facebook fans. People love Facebook. They love Facebook Live. Some people love reading blog posts. Okay? Some people like watching YouTube videos. Some people like listening to podcasts. Some people like going to live events. Okay? Networking with other people. Everyone likes to consume content and information differently. You just got to understand that. And when you're creating content, when you're pumping it out there, you've got to have a well-rounded strategy. Okay, we're going to talk about that here in a minute. So what I want you to do, this is going to be an exercise for you. And hey guys, welcome to today. Thank you for watching today's video. If you have any questions about this, please drop a question below this video. I want to see more people becoming thought leaders in their market and absolutely dominating the competition, because guess what, guys? Not everyone is willing to do what it takes. Not everyone is willing to do what it takes to win and be successful, not only today, but in the next decade. Okay, I'm not thinking about today. Although I am in today, I'm thinking about the next 5 years, the next 10 years down the road, right? And if you're not thinking about the next 5 years or 10 years down the road, you're not building up assets to be positioned 5 to 10 years down the road, well then in 5 to 10 years down the road, you might not even be doing what it is that you're currently desiring to do. Doing this for over 10 years, guys, I've seen people come and I've seen people go. And a very few percentage of the people actually stick around and continue to do what it is that they began doing. Okay, now evolving is fine, but I want you to do this. Take out a piece of paper now that you understand the exercise, and I want you to write down all the problems that your people face. Okay, you should know who your people are, right? Write down all the problems that your people face and then create solutions to those problems. Even if you have to research, right? Even if you have to go and hunt of how to solve those problems because you might not be sure. That's okay. That's okay. You are willing to do what it takes, right? The thought leaders are willing to do what it takes. They're willing to put in the time. They're willing to focus and dedicate their energy and attention to doing whatever it takes. Okay? So next, after that, I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, guys, about that, please drop a comment below this video and we'll jump into that. Okay, so now we're going to do some questions and answers. As always, every single day of this free 8-figure club coaching and ClickFunnels support, I like to answer questions because we get hundreds of questions every single week about ClickFunnels, about funnel hacking, about funnel building, about copywriting, about video production and branding, and about launching your expertise, and about taking your businesses to the next level. Like, we get questions about that all of the time, right? And so that's part of the reason why I'm doing these 30 days of Facebook Live, because I want to answer your questions. I want to help you get unstuck and bust through whatever income ceiling is over your life, and I want to help you break the 2 comma club and go into the 8-figure club, be generating over $10 million in your business through a funnel. Okay? Now, here's some questions that we're going to answer today. What if I'm just starting out? Bryan, what if I'm just starting out? And I get this question a lot because a lot of people are just starting out. Now, what if you're just starting out? Well, here's what I would say. When I first started in internet marketing, and it really goes back to personal development, I got turned on to Og Mandino, the greatest salesman in the world, Think and Grow Rich, great books. And I went deep. I mean, I didn't date for like 2 years. I just went down every rabbit hole I could, and I went on a research path. I mean, I was buying books left and right. You should see the number of books that I have in storage, and even here in my home. It's everywhere, right? They're everywhere. And that's because when I buy something, I go deep. And so I would recommend that you consume everything you can, okay? Go deep. Become a passionate explorer of information on your topic, whatever that topic may be, and something that fuels you and fires you up. I love personal development. I love biohacking. I love high performance. I love business growth. I love scaling business, right? Like, these are the categories. I love spirituality. I love stuff that has to do with, you know, the spiritual world. But that's the stuff that I love. So find what you love and go deep, okay? Don't only go deep through books and courses, but go to events, get immersion, right? We talked about this. Go deep, immerse yourself into topics. And what I like to do, like I mentioned yesterday, is, you know, I'll buy a book, but I'll also buy the audiobook, okay? And when I'll read, I'll also listen, and I'll write as well. Fully engaged. You guys want to fully engage in everything that you do. I hope that over the last, 16 days leading up to today, day 17, that you've been taking some notes, that you've been writing things down, okay? Because there's a lot of nuggets in here that you got to catch. Now, guys, for those of you just coming on, welcome to today's video. Thank you so much for being here. I'm excited to meet you one day. But guys, grab your free golden ticket. We have a limited number of supplies of these free golden tickets, and they're flying off the shelves because of what's on it. I put my 7-figure and 8-figure expert agency and e-commerce funnels, emails, and scripts loaded onto this puppy for free. All I ask is that you pay the shipping and handling fee. It's $9.95. We ship it anywhere in the world. Guys, grab your free golden ticket, and I can't wait for you to find out what's on this free golden ticket. If you go over to freegoldenticket.com, you can just check it out, or you click the link in the description of this video, and that'll take you there as well, okay? And as I've mentioned before, there's 5 of these free golden tickets. These are $15,000 tickets to spend an entire day with my team and I here in beautiful La Jolla, California, San Diego, to map out the fastest path to your $1 million a year or $1 million a month business. And it would be an honor, it'd be a privilege to sit down with you to map out the funnels, the offers, the advertising strategy, the marketing strategy, everything that you need to focus, right? Everything you need to focus, avoid shiny object syndrome, and stop lone wolfing it, right? Those two deadly forces that we want to eradicate, those two deadly forces that are killing too many entrepreneurs today. I'm here to eradicate those two forces and help you to avoid that. But today, guys, whatever it is that you love, whatever it is that you're a thought leader in or want to become a thought leader in, then you need to know everything you can about it. Okay? If you're into personal development, you need to read everything you can about it. Read at least the best stuff that's out there. Okay? Find the cream of the crop, the best stuff, right? And when you begin to read book after book after book, and you begin to attend event after event after event. Now, this is part of your beginning journey. Once you've done this, then you can avoid the shiny object syndrome and stop looking at hacks, tactics, and random stuff from every new Tom, Dick, and Harry who's on the block. But you can focus, right? There's people that I listen to, but I listen to people who are world class at what they do. People like Tony Robbins, right? People that have been doing their craft for 30 plus years, right? They've developed this expertise, and that's the expertise that you'll want to develop, okay? And it shouldn't be arduous. It should be something that's fun. It should be something that excites you, right? It should be something that fires you up, right? Learning something new, becoming a master at your craft. The only way, guys, that I became a master at my craft of building funnels, creating winning offers, launching and scaling business online, the only way that I became great at that is I immersed myself in the beginning in everything that I can consume, and then I found a mentor to help me focus on my path to go deep on whatever he told me to do. Remember, I've already talked about that, so I'm not going to go on to that topic. But hiring a mentor is another thing that you can do to really accelerate your learning curve. Okay, so if you're just starting out, guys, what I recommend is that you consume everything about your topic and figure out the problems that your market faces, okay? What are the best ways to discover those problems? That's a great question. So I would poll your audience. If you have an audience, poll them, okay? Ask them, right? Find where they're hanging out and ask them. It's real simple, right? There's forums, there's Facebook groups, there's YouTube search. You can find keywords that people are searching for in YouTube and in Google. You can look at your competitors and see what keywords they're ranking for, what keywords they're creating content for. Okay, there's a lot of stuff here in the research phase to figure out what their problems are. But the best way to find out what their problems are is to go find 10 of these people who are your ideal audience, okay, who are your perfect customer. Find them, sit them down, buy them coffee, take them out to lunch, take them out to dinner, and just ask them what are the problems that they're experiencing, what are the pains, and what are their solutions. How would they like to experience life differently? How would they like to experience business differently? Find out that information, become a journalist, journal that information, maybe interview them so you have the information for later, right? Okay, some of the best homework that we can do. If you're selling something now, call your customers. It's one of the greatest ways to get intel about who they are, where they're from, what their current struggles and challenges are. When you're selling stuff, you have the great opportunity to call them, okay? So do that. You'll get incredible information. They'll be happy that you called, and you'll get incredible information from them, okay? What to do with all my content? Well, there's like, what I love about the internet is that we have all these platforms, right? So what I like to do with content is, Facebook Live and then pump it to YouTube, put it on the blog, maybe turn it into a book, put it on a podcast. So there's things that you can do with your content. If you create it once, I love creating through Facebook Live, okay? Then taking that information, putting it into YouTube, creating a blog post as well so that we rank in the search engines for that keyword or set of keywords. And then in the future, you could create a book out of it. You can create a podcast show out of it. So you can start tapping into all these other places where people are, because remember, not everybody is on Facebook. Not everybody's on YouTube. Not everybody's on podcasts, right? So you want to know where your people are and then create content solving their problems by providing solutions to whatever it is they're experiencing. Does that make sense, guys? Does that make sense? Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. Throw me some love if that makes sense. Or if you have any questions about this, please drop a question below. This is a big deal. You becoming the thought leader in your market is a big deal. And if you don't do it, guys, it's unfortunate to say, but if you don't do it, someone else will do it, and they'll take the market by storm. Okay? You don't want that to happen, right? If you don't do it, remember this, if you don't do it, someone else will. So you want to be on top of your game, especially now. Okay? Especially now. The economy is doing great, it's going up, but we're going to have a market correction. I remember sitting at Brendan Burchard's event, getting certified in high performance coaching. And I remember, it was about a year ago, less than a year ago now, but it was this year, actually. It was the beginning of this year, 2018. And I was talking to him, and he was saying that we're going to come into a market correction in probably the next year or two. So guys, it's more important now than ever to be creating the assets that show and prove that you're the thought leader in what you do, you're the category king in your market, and that's by creating content that solves people's problems and provides solutions to their pains and to the problems. Okay, hope that makes sense. All right, now let's go over, we're done questions. If you guys have any questions, please drop a question in the comment section. I'd love to answer any of your questions now or in the future. Guys, thank you for being with me here today. Now, here's the deal. I want to recap real quick, okay? So know the problems and solve them, okay? Figure out what the problems are for your people, your market, and solve the problems. It's rather simple. Becoming the category king and the thought leader in your market is not difficult if you have the right strategy of doing it, okay? Number two, provide solutions, okay? Be someone that provides solutions, that produces results in advance, like I've talked about before in previous videos leading up to today, and dominate the conversation, okay? Dominate the conversation. Don't just dabble in the conversation. Dominate the conversation. How do I dominate the conversation, Brian? The way you dominate the conversation is that you're constantly in the conversation, right? These 30 days of Facebook Live is a great example of constantly being in a conversation with others, right? I'm in a conversation with you right now as you're watching and listening to this video, right? I would recommend that you create a similar strategy for your market, okay? Now, it might not be the same. You might not be 30 days of Facebook Live. It might be 3 times a week or 2 times a week. But if you're dominating the conversation, you're going to stay top of mind, right? Like you're going to be positioned as the category king, right? And know your people. This is big. Know your people, right? It's really important that you get intimate about who is your perfect customer, who's my avatar. This is a different way of saying avatar. Who are you serving, okay? And do you know everything about them? What are their fears? What are their frustrations? What are their pains? What are their problems? What do they want to experience? So thank you guys for tuning in today. Honored that you're listening, and I'm super excited for the next upcoming days and weeks ahead of what I'm going to be sharing here in these live videos. And I'm going to wrap with this. Grab this book, Play Bigger. You'll love it. It's a lot of fun. It's a great read. Every entrepreneur should read that book and get it on audio. Listen to it and read it. Write out the notes. Okay, create some cliff notes, and I'd love to know what your biggest 3 takeaways are. Okay, think about your top 3 takeaways. Maybe it's your top 3 takeaways from today's video, but I'd like to hear your top 3 videos from that book, Play Bigger. And guys, if you haven't claimed your free golden ticket, go to freegoldenticket.com, claim your free golden ticket. On here is our 7-figure and 8-figure expert funnels, which means that if you're an expert, you're an author, you're a speaker, you're a coach, you're a consultant, you're a purpose-driven entrepreneur, you want to leave a legacy, you want to share thought leadership, you want to bring your value to the world, your experiences, then the expert funnels, emails, and scripts will be very relevant for you, because that's the funnels, emails, and scripts that we've used to build million-dollar businesses for experts, many million-dollar businesses for experts. So you get to see behind the curtain from what you need to create in your world. The agency funnels, I give you our 7 and 8 figure agency funnels. If you're running a freelance, a service-based business, a branding agency, I mean, whatever it might be. If you're a service professional, then the 7-figure and 8-figure agency funnels, emails, and scripts will be relevant for you. If you're an e-commerce store, okay, if you run an e-commerce business, we have our e-commerce funnels, emails, and scripts loaded on here as well from one of my business partners who runs a $6 to $7 million a year e-commerce store. Okay, guys? So grab your free golden ticket while you can. Thank you for tuning in today. I hope that you're a lucky winner of this golden ticket. We have 5 of them where you get to spend an entire one-day private strategy session with my team and I, working exclusively on your business. So again, thank you for tuning in today. I can't wait to see you back here tomorrow. If you know anyone that would be blessed from listening to these videos, please share this video with your friends, tag them in the comment section, and spread the love. All right? Thank you guys, and I'll see you back here tomorrow.